to reason. Will you open your eyes?
Ryan in Portland, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
That was masterful, by the way. What you just said.
Oh, nice.
And Beth,
So was that by you,
I
thanks.
love the podcast. Keep it up. So my question is, when Christopher Hitchens, after he wrote his book God Is Not Great, he really was sticking to this point of, we shouldn't believe in God, but we should actually go a step further and not want, not desire God to exist. And I guess I wanted your thoughts on that, because that seems kind of, I don't know, it seems like kind of a waste of time. I mean, in the same way, we stick it to theists, because, they believe in God because they want God to exist. And I find it kind of strange that, atheists who, take this point of like, well, we shouldn't want God to exist, because that's kind of beside the point. I mean, it's not what we want, what we desire to be true. It's what is true that matters. I mean,
No.
Would you agree?
No. Why can't we talk about both? Why can't we talk about what is true and what we'd like to be true? I mean, I don't see what the objection is to saying, hey, I don't believe that there is a God, but I also, hope there's not.
Can I ask? I mean, what do you think? I mean, in that discussion you would have, what do you think that would accomplish?
Well, one of the things I see that it accomplishes, and I think this is what Hitchens talked about a lot, is the God of the Bible is so horrible. If he existed and those things were true, that we wouldn't want him to exist. There are a lot of atheists who are like, well, I wish I could believe. They'll say that to Christians, and other atheists are pointing out, no, this book is horrible. The things that were done in this book are horrible. We should not want this to exist because it's immoral. So I think it's good to point out the immorality of that God.
Well, let me try to put it another way, because all right. I mean, I guess if it's if God exists, which I don't believe for a second, but if there's a chance he exists, there's a chance that he's a complete totalitarian dick. I mean, I don't know how to put it. I guess.
And would you, if given your preference, would you want to live in a world with a complete totalitarian dick?
No, but I guess it doesn't. I mean.
Okay, so what's wrong with saying so?
I guess my point is I don't see why that. I don't see how that matters to the actual truth of
it doesn't.
whether or not God exists.
It doesn't. It doesn't have any impact on it all. You're talking about. That's why I said you're talking about two completely different things. Hey, guess what? I don't currently live in a country with a complete totalitarian dick running it, and I don't want to. It's two separate things, and there's no problem at all with saying so.
Okay, it just seems like I don't know. It seems like there's quite a bit of I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of focus on that. And I guess I kind of failed to see the point of it, because
Is there focus on it?
I feel we should be focusing on what we know and what we can know, and although maybe what we desire is important, but I mean when it comes to those two seem to seem to want to overlap when they shouldn't. I guess is my point.
Well, I don't know where you're seeing this, but generally the only time I've seen atheists talk about, what they want as far as God is when they're specifically discussing the morality of Christianity or even the morality of Islam or another religion. That's about the only time I see atheists bring it up.
And actually, I think Beth's point before was probably the best point, and that is there's so many times that we've heard of non-believers who say things like, "I really wish it was true. I wish I could believe." That I think it makes it even more important to point out to them why they should wish the opposite.